What really happens when the door closes, and it's just you? It might sound peaceful, finally having your own space. But for many seniors, living alone after 70 isn't just about independence. It's about silence that grows louder each day. Small health problems no one notices. An emotional weight that doesn't always show on the outside. So ask yourself this: are you, or someone you love, really prepared for the quiet, hidden struggles of aging alone? Because today we're pulling back the curtain on 5 harsh realities that most people never talk about. And more importantly, how you can face them with strength, safety, and dignity. Stay tuned. #3 is a danger many seniors overlook until it's almost too late. Not all seniors living alone suffer. Some thrive, with routine, support, and purpose. But others slowly fade behind closed doors. Let's take 2 examples. Margaret, 74, starts her day with a walk, chats with her daughter every afternoon, and prepares meals she enjoys. David, 78, wakes up to silence, skips breakfast, and spends entire days without hearing another voice. Both live alone. But only one is aging well. This video isn't meant to scare you. It's here to open your eyes to what really changes when you're older and alone, and how to stay one step ahead of the challenges. We'll cover the 5 biggest risks seniors face when living alone, and for each one, a proven way to stay strong, safe, and mentally sharp. Early viewer prompt. If you, or someone you care about, is living alone after 70, type, "I'm still strong" in the comments. Let's support each other. Reality 1. The silence gets loud, loneliness and mental health decline. At first it might feel peaceful. The quiet mornings. No one interrupting your thoughts. But over time, that same silence can become deafening. Living alone after 70 often brings an invisible emotional shift. Loneliness. And not just, "I miss my children" kind of loneliness, but deep, chronic isolation that affects your mind, your health, even how long you live. Let's meet Eleanor, 81. She lost her husband 7 years ago. Her kids moved states away. At first she enjoyed the space. She read, gardened, even joined a book club. But over the last year things changed. She stopped attending events, stopped answering phone calls, stopped laughing. "I didn't even notice I was disappearing," she later said. "I just felt hollow. Like I was existing, not living." And Eleanor isn't alone. The science is clear. Loneliness in seniors increases the risk of depression, memory decline, and even early death. One major study found that chronic loneliness is as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. When you're isolated, your body enters a low-level stress state. Your immune system weakens. Your brain becomes more vulnerable to dementia. And your motivation to eat well, move, or engage drops dramatically. But here's the good news. Loneliness is reversible. How to cope? Schedule human contact like it's medicine, because it is. A daily call with a friend. A weekly lunch. Even a video chat. Join local programs. Senior centers, hobby groups, or volunteering circles can add joy and structure. Use technology wisely. Apps like Get Set Up, Papa, and even Facebook can connect you to people who understand your season of life. Say yes more often, even if it's just a 10-minute walk with a neighbor. One small yes breaks the silence. Eleanor eventually reached out to a neighbor who invited her to a morning walking group. Now, every Tuesday and Friday, she meets the same 3 women at 9 a.m. They walk, they talk, they laugh. She says it's not just about friendship. It's about feeling like I matter again. Bottom line. Your brain, your heart, and your soul need connection. Because silence, left unchecked, can become the loudest danger of all. Reality 2. No one notices small health changes until it's too late. Living alone means having full control over your day. But it also means something else. No one's there to notice when something starts to go wrong. At first, it might be small things. You forget your keys more often. You've been skipping meals. You have a bruise but can't remember how you got it. These small signs often go unnoticed, or worse, dismissed as normal aging. But when no one's checking in regularly, minor issues can snowball into major emergencies. Let's talk about Robert, 77, a retired teacher who lived alone after his wife passed. He was independent, sharp, and loved working on puzzles. But slowly his friends noticed something during phone calls. He'd repeat stories, forget dates, and sound confused. Turns out, he had the early signs of mild cognitive decline, but no one knew how far it had progressed because no one saw him daily. By the time his daughter visited months later, he'd been undereating, had bruises from multiple falls, and wasn't taking his medications properly. Why this matters? Seniors are more vulnerable to dehydration, malnutrition, medication errors, memory loss, silent strokes or infections that go undetected. Living alone can delay detection of these red flags, sometimes until hospitalization is the first clue. How to cope. Use a daily symptom tracker or journal, just a simple notebook noting appetite, sleep, and how you feel. Set up a weekly health check call with a loved one or caregiver. Just 10 minutes can help spot changes. Use medication reminders and pill organizers. They're lifesavers for memory lapses. Consider a wearable emergency device that detects falls or irregular heart rhythms. Remember, awareness is protection. The earlier a health issue is caught, the better your chances of managing it and staying independent longer. Reality 3. Falls or accidents with no one around. It's one of the greatest fears for seniors living alone. What if you fall and no one's there to help? It's not just a scary thought, it's a harsh reality for millions. According to the CDC, 1 out of 4 seniors over 65 falls each year. And falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in older adults. Now imagine that fall happens in the bathroom, at night, with your phone out of reach, and no one checking on you for days. That's exactly what happened to Marion, 82. She slipped while getting out of the shower. She lay on the floor for nearly 11 hours before a neighbor came knocking. She survived, but her recovery took months, and her confidence never fully returned. Why this matters? Falls aren't just physical injuries. They impact emotional health too, causing fear, hesitation, and often leading to long-term mobility loss. Seniors who fall once often reduce activity out of fear of falling again, which ironically increases their fall risk due to weakening muscles and balance. How to cope and prevent. Install grab bars in bathrooms and along hallways. Use non-slip mats and proper footwear even at home. Keep floors clear of rugs, wires, and clutter. Invest in fall detection devices like smartwatches or emergency alert necklaces. Light your path. Motion-activated night lights can prevent those midnight accidents. And most importantly, have a check-in system, a daily call, a neighbor's knock, or a caregiver alert. Falls aren't just accidents, they're warning signs. But with the right setup, they don't have to be life-changing. Reality 4. Poor nutrition from lack of motivation or routine. When people picture seniors living alone, they often imagine someone quietly enjoying a bowl of soup or sipping tea at the kitchen table. But the reality? Many seniors aren't eating as well or as often as they should. At first glance, it looks like just eating less. But that less can quietly turn into malnutrition, even when the refrigerator still has food inside. Because when no one's around, meals start to feel like a chore. There's no conversation, no shared plates, no reason to cook, just for one. And before long, skipping meals becomes a habit. Let's meet Linda, 75. After her husband passed away, everything changed. The kitchen, the place they used to laugh and eat together, now echoed with silence. At first she made small meals, but the pots felt too heavy. The silence at the table felt heavier, so she skipped dinner, then lunch. Soon, her meals became a handful of crackers, a spoonful of applesauce, or just a cup of tea. When her son visited, she smiled, said she was eating just fine, and made a small sandwich to keep up appearances. But behind the scenes, her body was telling another story. Within months, she began to lose weight, feel weak, and struggle with dizziness. Eventually, Linda was hospitalized for fatigue, and only then did her family realize how far things had declined. Why it matters? After 70, your body actually needs more nutrition, not less. Protein for muscle, fiber for digestion, vitamins and minerals for immune strength, brain function, and wound healing. But here's the catch. As we age, appetite naturally declines. We feel full faster. Our taste buds dull. And when no one's watching, it becomes easier to skip or simplify meals. Malnutrition in seniors leads to weakened immune systems, increased infections, muscle loss and frailty, slower recovery from illness or injury, higher risk of hospitalization or falls. It doesn't take starvation, just quiet neglect, one skipped meal at a time. How to cope. 1. Plan simple meals ahead. You don't need to cook every day. Even preparing 2 or 3 basic items, like boiled eggs, soup, or roasted veggies, once a week can keep nutrition on track. 2. Use meal delivery services. Programs like Meals on Wheels or local community kitchens offer balanced, ready-to-eat meals. These are lifelines, not luxuries. 3. Eat with others, even virtually. Invite a neighbor for lunch, join a senior center meal, or eat during a video call with family. Sharing food, even digitally, restores the joy of eating. 4. Keep easy staples on hand. Yogurt, cottage cheese, canned tuna, boiled eggs, frozen vegetables, nut butter. These take little prep but offer big nourishment. 5. Don't forget hydration. Keep a water bottle close. Drink regularly, even before you feel thirsty. Dehydration can worsen fatigue, memory problems, and dizziness. Eating well isn't just about living longer. It's about feeling stronger. It's about having the energy and clarity to enjoy your independence and your life. And the good news? You don't need gourmet meals or complicated plans. Just a little preparation, a little support, and the belief that your health is worth the effort. Reality 5. The emotional burden of being a burden. It's one of the quietest struggles seniors face, especially those living alone. It rarely comes up in casual conversation, but it weighs heavily on the heart. It's the feeling that many carry deep inside. I don't want to be a burden to anyone. At first it might sound noble, selfless even, but over time this belief shapes decisions, big and small, in ways that can harm more than help. You avoid asking for help, even when you truly need it. You downplay your pain or forgetfulness, so your children won't worry. You smile through discomfort, make excuses, and keep your struggles hidden, because you don't want to trouble anyone. Let's meet George, 80. A retired engineer, a proud father of 3, and someone who had always prided himself on being capable. One winter morning, George slipped while cleaning the garage. He fell hard on his side. He was sore, bruised, and suspected he'd pulled a muscle, or worse. But he said nothing. He quietly took over-the-counter painkillers. He avoided walking more than he had to. And when his daughter called, he changed the subject. Weeks passed. The pain got worse. His energy dropped. He barely left the house. Eventually, during a visit, his daughter noticed how stiff he'd become, and how he winced when standing. When she asked, he finally admitted what had happened. She was shocked and heartbroken. "Dad," she said gently, "helping you isn't a chore. It's a privilege. We love you. Let us show it." And in that moment, George cried. Not because of the pain in his back, but because he realized he didn't have to carry everything alone anymore. Why this matters? The fear of being a burden creates invisible barriers. It causes seniors to isolate themselves, delay or skip medical care, suppress emotional needs, feel resentful or guilty even when others are willing to help. And ironically, this mindset often causes more burden in the long run. What starts as a minor issue, like a sore joint, missed pill, or emotional dip, can spiral into a full-blown crisis if left unspoken. You think you're protecting others by staying silent, but you may be robbing them of the chance to love you fully. How to cope and reframe. Reframe help as connection, not charity. Every ride to the doctor, every grocery trip, every shared cup of tea, it's not a favor. It's an opportunity to bond. Communicate openly with family. Don't wait until something breaks. Let them know how you're really feeling, physically and emotionally. Find purpose in receiving. Just as you once gave care, guidance, and protection, now it's time to receive. That's not weakness. It's the wisdom of life coming full circle. Join peer support groups. There are thousands of seniors feeling just like you, afraid, proud, unsure. Finding community among people who understand can be life-changing. You're not a burden. You're a blessing. And your life, your story, deserves to be carried with care together. Final thought. Asking for help doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to protect your health, your dignity, and your future. Because you're not a burden. You're a story, a legacy, and a life still worth protecting, together. Living alone after 70 comes with a kind of freedom, but it also carries hidden costs. Let's recap the 5 harsh realities. The silence gets loud, and loneliness creeps in slowly. No one notices small health changes until it's often too late. Falls or accidents can go unnoticed for hours or days. Nutrition and routine suffer because motivation fades without company. The emotional weight of being a burden keeps too many from reaching out. But here's the truth. None of these have to define your story. You can stay independent and supported. You can live alone without feeling lonely. You can ask for help and still be strong. The key is awareness and action. Even one small change today could prevent a crisis tomorrow. Set up a check-in system. Review your fall-proofing. Cook a simple meal that fuels your strength. Share how you're really doing with someone who cares. Now it's your turn. Which of these 5 realities resonated with you most? What's one change you'll make this week? Share it in the comments. Your voice could inspire someone else. And if this video helped you, please like it, subscribe, turn on notifications for more insights on thriving after 70. Because living alone doesn't mean aging alone. We're in this together.